Hi, we are live today from Wilkerson Pass in Colorado. I made it to a place with reception, and I've got an amazing view behind me, which when I'm blinded by the light, I can't completely see, but I'll give you guys a tour. And the best part about this is today, it's not going to matter what I'm talking about because you all can just turn your sound down and just watch it on mute because I've got this amazingness behind me. What a perfect backdrop for a positivity break. That's what we're talking about today. The happiness tip of the week was taking a positivity break. The idea of this one was we've spent a good couple of weeks nurturing the darker side of our emotional patterns because they're important. Never going to stop telling you that they're important. But there is such a thing as dwelling and spending a little too much time there. What I noticed is that I spend so much time honoring my negative emotions that I was almost making them more important. I wasn't giving equal airtime to delight, to joy, to bliss, to peace, to this kind of, wow, sensory positivity, right? This week's charge was to just take some breaks from doing that hard work. It's hard work to be processing this ickier, kind of darker emotions all the time. Taking a break from them does not mean pushing them under the rug. We're not only looking at the positive. You could think of it like putting the tough stuff on a shelf for a moment here and there. You can still see it sitting there on that shelf. You have a choice to take it down and look at it anytime you want to. You know it's there. Give yourself a chance to recover. Rest a little bit. This is tough work. I'd love to hear from you anything that you've noticed this week. For those of you who caught my happiness tip on Monday that I put out, at the very least, it could look like rest. Just almost the absence of the negative, the absence of murking around in there. Again, putting it on a shelf. Distraction is helpful. Watching funny videos, watching movies, anything that you do to take a break that's just resting, getting that distraction. And I would invite you to make that mindful distraction. What do I mean by that? Just being aware of it, calling it what it is. My crap is on that shelf right there. I can see it. I can look at it. I know it's there. I'm intentionally putting it there, and I can go pick it up whenever I want to, but I'm going to choose to take a break for a little bit before I come back to it. Take a break to recover. What rest and taking that distraction mindfully is not. What it is not is just numbing out. The mindless stuff. There are lots of ways to numb. We can numb with food. We can numb by spending money. We can numb on Facebook. Not that this counts, because this is our positivity break. Check that out, Joe. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Mindlessly numbing, there's a difference. Those breaks that I mentioned, the Facebook, the shopping, the food, they're not bad on their own by themselves, but it's how we use them. If we're using them to avoid how we're feeling, that's when it's not so healthy. So there's a difference between taking the rest as a conscious break and taking the rest where you're just numbing out. And even that in small doses, as long as we don't spend all of our time there. Sometimes we just need a frickin' break, right? When you just take that inactive break and making it a conscious rest, and it's a choice that you're aware of, you're calling it what it is. I'm going to take a 15-minute break and I'm going to intentionally vegetate on Facebook for a bit, and then I'm going to see what I feel like doing next. At that point, you might choose to pick up that concern off the shelf and take it down for a little bit and play with it. Or you might decide to do something healthy for yourself proactively. So let's talk about taking a proactive positivity break. This is, again, just discussing giving equal airtime to the positive, not focusing all of our time working through the negative when we're doing this tough kind of work. Rest being one aspect of taking a break, and the positive, proactively generating some happy. What ways that I did this week? One way was I recalled a happy memory, and I tried to go into it and feel it, like actually feel the presence of this happy memory in my body. What was I feeling like? Even if I kind of made it up, just use my imagination to paint that picture with all of my senses and spend some time really feeling that. That was one way to really kind of generate those happy positivity breaks in the moment. I took some time to color. Adult coloring books are a fad, positive fad with a good reason. There's a lot of benefit that we can get from just slowing down and focusing on something. If any of you who are artists, I am not, wanted to post in your thoughts on, the benefit of adult coloring books or any kind of art. I mean, it's therapy in itself. That was one thing I did. I mentioned earlier on my business page, mindfully brewing coffee, because I was having a rougher day on Tuesday, and I had to call myself on my own crap. Like, what is the theme for the week? Take a break from what's going on. There's been some legitimate stuff going on with me this week, some tragedy with some of my friends, and it's hard. And it's good for us to put that on a shelf for a little bit and to take a break. So mindfully brewing coffee. Was not perfect at that. Did not go as far as envisioning the coffee growing, the beans growing, and how they would roast the beans and how everything was harvested. Didn't quite go that far, but it tasted darn good. And that was nice. Don says coloring. I think it uses a part of your brain that doesn't always get used, I'm sure. Without a doubt, there's great ways to stimulate parts of our brain that we're not using on a daily basis. And when you do it over a period of time, it's like massaging an unused muscle in your head. Feels good, meditative. Oh, hey, that's a long comment. Let me see more. Renner. Yes. Love that. Thanks for that, Don. Yeah, totally agree in that. And let me give you guys another tour. Hi, Melissa. Here, Melissa. We're ready for your tour since you just popped on. Yeah. So most of the golden is behind me, although I'm sitting just kind of on a ledge here. There we go. There's the top of my head. Isn't that fantastic? And there's full circle. Pretty neat. You guys getting dizzy over there? Yeah. This is just the beginning of today's positivity break, which is being out and soaking in the sensory beauty of the place that we live. Pretty excited about it. It's one of my favorite things to do in the fall. I guess today is the first day of fall officially. I think dropping in and checking in with your senses out in a place where it's not fogged in, I would say, by technology, as I'm holding my phone. But when we're not doing live shots, when we can put away the Facebook and be present and listen to the sounds around us. I don't know if you guys just heard that cicada. There have been birds chirping. I don't know if you can hear the rustle in the trees. that I can. And I invite you to take this kind of a break too, even if it's just in your backyard. You know, how can you soak in the smallest details that you never notice? When was the last time you bent down and examined a blade of grass? Or followed an ant as it was making its very purposeful path over the sidewalk? Thanks, Melissa. I think so too. Pretty crazy. Wilkerson Pass. New territory. I think we're heading up in the direction of St. Elmo, which I have never been to. So today is about adventure, and I don't know if this even counts as a positivity break because it's going to be one big long adventure day. And I did need it. I was pretty sad this morning with some news that's happened. So this is a great way to take a break. I think these fall colors, for those of you who are local, are going to be around for a little while. Get on out here. Give you guys a last tour. Wow, really most of it is. There we go. I'll just get my head out of the way. Nobody wants to see that. Of course I can't tell where I'm pointing. There you are. Just a little quick snippet of some beautiful aspen turning today. So important to be good to yourself. I love that you are recognizing that you need a break. All my love back to you, Melissa. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in today and soaking in a little bit of this gorgeous, gorgeous view. Wow. Yeah, really my head's blocking the best part. Happy Thursday, everybody. Have a great one. I'll do this again next week. If anybody has any requests for happiness tips, feel free to pop them on there. Otherwise, I tend to go with what's coming up for me. Kind of use it as a little bit of my own work. So I'll share with you what I'm up to. Have a great one. Bye.